In this video, I will break down the benefits of using a weighted blanket for autistic adults. I will provide recommendations for the right weighted blanket for you, and I will share with you the weighted blanket I sleep under every night. Let's get started. Hey, Define Yourselfers. I am Chris Mitchell from theconfidentautistic.com. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I sincerely appreciate you choosing this video to watch at this time. I really do. It means a lot to me. I am an autistic adult, late diagnosed, a multi-certified life coach, a digital creator, and an advocate for autistic adults, empowering other autistic adults and the entire world to embrace autism confidently. Now, if this resonates with you, please consider supporting our channel. You can show your support by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. But the best way, the ultimate best way you can show your support for the channel is by subscribing to our channel. And when you do subscribe, do not forget to ring the bell to be notified of new videos and when I go live. The right weighted blanket can provide many benefits for autistic adults. The best way to describe what a weighted blanket does for autistic adults like you and me is to explain that a weighted blanket mimics a hugging sensation, which provides the following four benefits. Weighted blankets can help with sensory processing issues. The pressure from the right weighted blanket for you can provide a calming sensory input that helps manage overwhelming sensations from the environment. Those could be any overwhelming sensations, could be current ones going on that are bothering you, maybe too much noise in the house, whatever, or something that you experience during the day. Weighted blankets can also provide deep pressure stimulation. See, the weight from the weighted blanket can create a deep pressure touch, which can be like a therapeutic technique that can be soothing and calming. And the best part of it is, it's a lot less expensive than going to a therapist every single day or every single week. Weighted blankets can help reduce anxiety. This is the key one for me and many of us on the spectrum, because I believe most people on the spectrum battle anxiety. I know I do. So with a weighted blanket, it can help us reduce anxiety with a sense of security and grounding. A weighted blanket can help reduce the anxiety levels that are often caused or associated with sensory overload. And the weighted blanket is great when you're experiencing sensory overload or when you just got away from sensory overload. Like for me, during the day, I could be around a lot of noise. And if you've seen any of my other videos, that's a common trigger for me is sensory noise, is noise being too much. And that helps me calm down from that and decompress from it. Now, it's not my only tool. I have others, which I'll talk about in other videos, but it's one of the tools that I use to help when I have sensory overload and to self-regulate. And weighted blankets can improve sleep. Now, you don't have to use a weighted blanket just at bedtime. I have a weighted blanket I use on my lap in the living room in the recliner while I'm watching TV with my wife in the evening. And I love my wife, and we talked about this before. She has a TV on all the time because she's battling stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And TV constantly just gets to me, but I want to be there with her and be together because I love her. And if the TV is getting to me too much, or maybe a smell from the kitchen, whatever, I can sit there in my recliner. I don't have to go to sleep. I put my weighted blanket on, and that helps me deal with any sensory overload or any anxiety I'm experiencing at that time. But let's get back to the weighted blankets can improve sleep. They can. The calming effect of a weighted blanket from its deep pressure stimulation, which we talked about earlier, which is helping us with sensory processing, which we talked about, and reducing our anxiety levels, which we talked about in this video, can contribute to a better sleep quality by promoting relaxation and reducing restlessness. Now, there's some people who use a weighted blanket for restless leg syndrome. I'm not sure how common that is in the autistic community. I've not done the research on that yet, but that is another great use for it. Now, there are some important criteria you should consider when selecting a weighted blanket. Number one, the most important thing is proper weight is crucial when selecting a weighted blanket. It is recommended that you select a weighted blanket that is between 10 and 20% of your body weight. So my body weight, I'm not proud of this. It used to be low, and I've been stress eating this summer and all this year. So my weight right now is about 200 pounds. It really needs to be closer to 150 for my height. If I got down to 160, I would be a winner. But that's a story for another day. So 200 pounds, my weighted blanket should be between 20 and 40 pounds of weight. 40 sounds like a lot. Now, I bought my weighted blanket, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, when I was closer to 160 pounds. And so I got myself at that point 10% of my weight, a 15-pound weighted blanket. Another thing that you should take into consideration when you're looking for a weighted blanket is that weighted blankets, it's only a part of your larger sensory management strategy that addresses other sensory needs as well. Yes, my weighted blanket is part of my strategy. And at bed at night, I do have a weighted blanket on me, and that helps. But to help me relax and get over the sensory overload I've had during the day from noise or too much clutter, visual stimuli, whatever in my anxiety, I add to that strategy with my weighted blanket. I add relaxation, calming music I play on my AI device. I don't want to say her name. I got one right in front of me off camera, and I don't want to trigger her. Anyway, um, it so I will listen to some calming music, and the combination of the calming, relaxing music and my blanket often helps me go to sleep. Now, many of us on the spectrum do struggle with sleep issues. I'm one of them, but this does help some. It's not a, silver bullet, perfect fix for this problem, but it is a helpful device for me. And there are times during the day when I'm getting overwhelmed. I'll take a break from working and I'll go in the bedroom and lay underneath my weighted blanket and listen to some calming, relaxing music that helps me when I'm experiencing sensory overload, when I need to self regulate, or when I need to kind of calm down the anxiety I'm having. And obviously, in another video, which I'm going to link, I don't have him in here. Another video that I will link into the video description. I talk about my Warmy Waggles. He's not in here right now. That's what I was talking about, and how I will hold on to him. So a blanket is not going to be the only tool you may need to help you regulate and battle any challenges you have as a person with autism or an autistic adult. But it's just one factor of it, and you need to keep that in mind. Now, when choosing a weighted blanket, be sure to take into consideration your personal preferences. Be aware, not just the stuff I mentioned before, that is just a part of your toolbox. Let's call it that toolbox that helps you self-regulate and participate in self-care. But be aware that not all autistic adults will benefit equally from a weighted blanket. That means you may benefit from a weighted blanket more than I do, or I may benefit from a weighted blanket more than you do. It's not a competition, it's only an exhibition. Please, no wagering. So it is important, or it may be important, let's put it this way. It may be important for you to consult with a therapist or a healthcare professional to determine if a weighted blanket is a suitable option for you. And I always like to yield to professionals' recommendations for you. If they recommend something I don't, or they recommend against something I talk about in a video, go with them. They know you better than I do. But a weighted blanket, as far as I can see, if unless you get a 200-pound blanket and you can't move at all, uh, that would be bad for you. I don't see any harm for using a weighted blanket. People without autism will use it. I have a great nephew, a different one. I have three great nephews, and one of them is autistic. I've talked about him before. Another one has restless leg syndrome. So they use a weighted blanket to help him sleep with his restless leg syndrome. My wife used one when she was a kid for her restless legs. So there's other uses, and non-autistic people can use these weighted blankets. No prescriptions required. You can get one of these bad boys and be helpful. It's not going to do any harm by using one, but it's always a good idea to consult with a therapist or a health professional to determine if it is a suitable option for you. If you have any questions about is this good for me on a aspect of my health. Now I'd like to talk to you about my weighted blanket. I actually have one. I mentioned that a little bit early in the video. I bought myself one. Probably my first one I purchased was during the time that I suspected I was autistic. And then I got a second one when I self identified as autistic. And the one that I'm currently using, this is my second weighted blanket for the bedroom, and I'll explain why in a moment, is currently on the screen. And at the time that we are taping this, November 2024, the suggested retail price for this weighted blanket, the one that I have, is $59.99. Now, the day we're taping this is during the Black Friday sale during 2024. So the price you see on the screen of $35.19 is a Black Friday price. It normally retails at $59.99. And I got the blue one because blue is my soothing color. And you want to pick out the right size. You need to know what size of bed you have, whether it be a king, queen, twin, whatever you have, full size bed. You want to get one of those that will fit your bed. You don't want too big and you don't want too small. You want it to be just right. Sounds like a little bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, doesn't it? Anyway, it does come in different colors. Let's take a look at these colors. So we have, oops, let me move my mouse better. There's black, there's blue, there's pink, there's green, gray, two shades of blue, light blue, dark blue. I got the solid blue actually. Orange, pink, purplish. I don't know what that is. It's got like a burgundy red. It's a fall color. It's kind of pretty. That's like aqua green. When I see this color, I think of the Miami Dolphins, the football team. White. If you want white, that's fine, but I think it shows dirt real easily, but that's up to you. And then yellow. The orange is really great. It probably, I don't think it does. I'm joking here, but it might glow in the dark and you can find your way to the bed at night. I don't know, but it looks that way to me. I don't think it glows in the dark. Don't buy it because Chris said it glows in the dark. I don't think it does, but just that bright of orange. So you want to get one of these. Now, the reason I got this one, this is my second one. I had another one, which was great, and it helped a lot. But I have a cat, and we talked about him before. He's orange. His name is Junior. He's a Velcro kitty. He loves being around me. Well, my Velcro kitty has allergies, and my Velcro kitty also has fur balls because at a certain time of the year, they're grooming and they get rid of their fur, and they are more likely to have fur balls. Long story short, my cat threw up on my first weighted blanket, which was only washable by hand. Take some damp water and damp towel and all and clean up. Well, because I did not know he had thrown up on it, it got embedded into my first weighted blanket, and we just had to toss that thing. It was nasty. It was bad. It was smelling. And the smell is another sensory issue that gave me a headache and made me want to add to the collection on the weighted blanket. So I got this one, and the reason I got this is machine washable. Now, I've not had a washer in a washing machine. We've got some better medicine for my cat, so he's not throwing up anymore. That's great, and we're past that for ball season. But this is my recommendation because mine is a 15-pound weighted blanket. If I was to wash it, I would take it to a laundromat and not use my personal washer. One, I'm concerned that the weighted blanket could damage my washer. Two, I'm not an insensitive jerk thinking, well, I'll just ruin a washing machine at a laundromat. No, no. Washing machines at laundromats, in my opinion and my experience, are more industrial strength. Washing machine in your house may be used a couple of times a week, maybe once a day. Washing machines that are at laundromats are designed to be used constantly all day long and last for long durations of time. So they're going to be more industrial strength. So if I needed to wash this, I would be taking mine to a laundromat for a machine that's going to be um, stronger, more durable, and less likely for the machine to get broken or my blanket to get torn up by my personal washing machine. So I would do that there. Now, about drying, I don't remember if it needs to be air dried or not. The directions are in the description here on Amazon, and you will get a little direction card with the package. So that is my weighted blanket. I love it. It really is comforting to me. I love the fact that it mimics hugging. My wife's not always able to hold me and give me a hug at night, which I really like. I don't like being touched that much, I'll be honest with you. But I do like being hugged by my wife and having things on me. I don't like shirts that much. But I'm not wearing one right now because my elbow's feeling pretty well. But I have a little brace because my right elbow hurts at times. And I just love the sensation of that going around. And it makes me feel comfortable, makes me feel hugged. And I love that. And since my wife can't always do that because of the pain she's in from her stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, this blanket gives me that at night. Because she used to hold me and we would go to sleep together each night. And that might be more than you needed to know, but that helped me go to sleep. And the blanket does emulate that for me. And I love that fact that it gives me that hugging sensation. I wrap myself in it like a little burrito all the way up to my neck at night. And I'm just so comfortable. And I just love it. The only problem I have with the weighted blanket is I can't really tuck it underneath the bed because it goes on top of your top sheet and you go underneath it and you sleep on the top sheet. This weighted blankets on top of you. So it does not stay in one place. I'm tossed and turned during the night, which I do a little bit. And then halfway through the night, my feet are out from underneath the blanket, or I roll over and now the blanket's only half covering me. And that's only because you cannot tuck it in. These weighted blankets come with little loops on the ends of it that you can tie or attach an outer sheet to it to protect the weighted blanket. That usually takes 2 to 3 people to assemble and disassemble that. They're nice. I've used one for a while, but they're a little bit of a hassle to use, in my opinion. So, but that is an option. You can get a I don't know what they call it. I call it a weighted blanket sheet protector or whatever, and protect your weighted blanket from cat throwing up on it or anything else, or you spilling something in bed. Doesn't matter. But I do love my weighted blanket, and I bought it on Amazon, and I provided a link to the item to the weighted blanket I purchased. But if you do want this weighted blanket, I highly recommend it. I do give it a rating of 5 out of 5 balloons, hot air balloons. So that's my rating for it. And like I said, there's a link to it in the video description. And when you use the link in the video description that comes after the phrase purchase now, as an affiliate marketer, including Amazon, I may earn a commission from your purchase. Commissions help me keep my coaching costs affordable for all and are just one way you can support the work I am doing in and for the autistic adult community. So I would appreciate. Now it is your turn. Do you use a weighted blanket? Have you considered one? Does it help you? How does it help you? Share your thoughts on this video. Or if you have an idea for a topic, share it as well. Share it either in the comments underneath this video or in the conversation in our Facebook group, Autistic Adults Embracing Autism. I might not be able to reply to every single comment, but rest assured, I do read each and every single one of them, and I do appreciate them. And by commenting, you're supporting this channel because that will tell YouTube this is a great video. That'll tell more people. That helps this channel grow. And together we can make this a valuable resource for everyone who is an autistic adult. So until next time, this is the Confident Autistic, reminding you that now is the time for you to embrace autism confidently. Join me live Thursday nights for the Confident Autistic Live, where I answer your questions. We discuss this week's videos, offer support, and more. The fun starts Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time in the US of A. Be sure to click the bell when you subscribe to the channel to be notified when the party begins.